going on, everybody? This is Joe.
And Amy.
And we are back with another episode of Pokemon Colosseum. Last time, we finally figured out how to properly purify our Pokemon and open the final door to their hearts. Or open up the final lock, or whatever they called it. So we currently have only 3 Shadow Pokemon remaining.
Yes.
Who are working on their bars right now as we speak. And then currently on our team, 3 non-Shadow Pokemon that used to be Shadow Pokemon. We then made our way here to Mount Battle, where some thugs were attacking and taking over, it seemed, and fighting against someone named Vander. We beat this first trainer, and then we ended the episode. So now, what a surprise, let's go against trainer number 2.
Now, I know typically you wouldn't tell me the answer to this.
Okay.
But would you be willing to tell me the number of trainers we're going to be facing before the boss?
I genuinely do not remember. I believe that they are at number 10, because if you recall, I think the person in the lobby here said that they could only rack up 8 wins, which wasn't enough.
Okay.
So I think it's 10, but I don't recall.
Okay. That's great. Just because I know that the 3 Shadow Pokemon that are on my team right now are Pokemon I do not want to remain on my team.
Yes.
And so I would like there to be enough trainers for me to fight to get them to be not Shadow Pokemon prior to me switching my team.
Hopefully they can be. Let's see.
And I would like my team to be switched prior to the boss.
Makes sense. Makes perfect sense. Turo took a fall, did he? I could never count on that guy. Well, I'll just think of it as there being more for me to enjoy. Come on!
Sounds good to me.
All right, Hunter Drovic. Hunter Drovic sends out Swinub and Baltoy.
Oh, we already fought this guy.
Are you sure? I don't think so. He also has 3 Pokemon. The Swinub is level 35, the Baltoy is level 36.
Yikers.
You've got Meditite. Do you want to use Shadow Rush, Calm Mind, Confusion, or High Jump Kick? Now, notably, I believe Baltoy, a Rock type, so would be weak against High Jump Kick.
I always thought Baltoy was a Psychic type.
Well, I think it's both, so actually I might be wrong. Baltoy is Ground Psychic, so never mind. It would actually be not good to use a Fighting type attack against it.
Okay.
My bad. And Swinub is?
Ice.
And?
Ground.
Correct. Ice and Ground, yeah.
Okay. So... I don't know what to do here. I guess Shadow Rush.
Okay. On which one? Higher level or lower level?
The Baltoy.
And Dunsparce? Oh, by the way, Dunsparce now has Yawn.
Oh. Still gonna use Shadow Rush, though.
On
the Swinub.
Meditite entered Hyper Mode and didn't attack.
Of course.
Baltoy used Confusion, which, as we know, is neutral against Meditite, but it did crit.
That's a lot of damage.
Swinub used Amnesia, and it raised its special defense to +2. Dunsparce used Shadow Rush on that Swinub and brought it to half.
Great.
Hit Recoil, of course. Meditite is in Hyper Mode.
Oh, cool. Let's call.
And
Shadow Rush the Swinub again.
Meditite! Meditite is now empty of all of its heart gauge.
Yes! Fuck yeah.
Cosmic Power from Baltoy raises its defense and its special defense by +1 each. Swinub dug a hole, but thankfully Dunsparce entered Hyper Mode and didn't try to attack.
Okay. So we will Shadow Rush the Baltoy with Meditite, and we will call the Dunsparce.
Dunsparce! Now below 2 bars, almost at 1.5.
Nice.
And Meditite entered Hyper Mode and didn't attack.
But, okay, so it can still enter Hyper Mode even though it doesn't have bars.
It has not been purified yet. So it is still a Shadow Pokemon, despite the fact that its bar isn't.
Wait, how did I miss that? The Baltoy just died.
No, it didn't.
Oh, okay. It just was only showing Swinub?
Oh, yeah, it zoomed in on Swinub because it was Swinub's turn.
No, yeah, but the bar at the top.
Yeah, it does when it attacks.
Okay,
Yeah.
I thought it showed both still.
Gotcha.
Even though it was the one's turn. Okay.
Gotcha.
Sorry.
That's okay. So, yes, so calling Meditite will do nothing now except take it out of hyper mode. So you could either try to use the crit possibility on Shadow Rush.
I will do that.
On who?
On Baltoy.
Okay.
Because we know that Dunsparce can kill the Swinub with one Shadow Rush.
Okay, I like it. So Meditite does use Shadow Rush. It does crit, and it does finish off the Baltoy.
Wow. Yes. That's incredible.
Baltoy
has always been a hard Pokemon for me to fight.
Sure.
This time it was not.
Yeah. Swinub used Amnesia and raised its special defense by +2 more, and Dunsparce entered Hyper Mode and did not attack.
Okay.
Meditite and Dunsparce both in Hyper Mode, and obviously, as you saw, the Hunter sent out Larvitar level 37.
Yikers. Okay. We will hit the Swinub with Shadow Rush from Meditite, and we will call Dunsparce.
You got it. Dunsparce! Okay, getting closer to 1 bar. Meditite used Shadow Rush. Does crit, definitely finishes off the Swinub. Meditite's hit with recoil down to 17, and Swinub faints. Obviously, Larvitar, his final Pokemon, Rock Smash, super effective on Dunsparce, down to 53, and Dunsparce's defense fell.
Okay.
Meditite still in Hyper Mode, but again...
Yes! Okay, we're gonna Shadow Rush the Larvitar.
And?
Shadow Rush.
Alright, Meditite does hit with Shadow Rush, does crit, does finish off the Larvitar in 1 hit.
Woo! Beautiful.
Larvitar goes down.
Now I know why they've been putting the Shadow Rush on these Pokemon.
Sure.
It's good.
Yeah. Alright, so you beat Hunter Drovic. Arrgh! And you got $592 for winning.
Okay.
I'm going to get reprimanded too. Alright, so notably, Meditite at 13 out of 64, Dunsparce at 53 out of 113, but you also know that Meditite is at an empty bar at this point.
Yes.
So do you want to go back?
I do.
Okay. Now, do you want to go back to Purify Meditite and then get a different Pokemon?
Yes,
or do you
I
want to...
do.
Okay.
Yes, I do.
Alright. So then... It'll let us do that, right? Yeah, okay. Alright, so,
Look up.
yeah, I don't think they need to see us go all the way over there. So we'll be back. Okay, we are back. It is time to Purify Meditite.
So excited. I love Meditite, by the way.
You do?
Yeah, and
Good,
it
I'm
makes me
glad.
kind of sad that I'm not keeping it on my team, but that's not how I play Pokemon.
Fair enough. Meditite opened the door to its heart and regained Detect again.
Okay.
Meditite gained 3,172 experience and obtained a ribbon, so no more levels for Meditite.
Okay. You're wonderful, Meditite, and I love you, but you're going in the box.
Do you know offhand who's replacing it?
I do.
Okay. Well, we will be back when we are back at Mount Battle so that we can replace Meditite. Okay, we are back. Amy, Meditite is now all done with opening the door to its heart, so it is back in the box.
Perfect.
Whom would you like to add to your team in place of Meditite?
Espeon.
Okay. Now, Espeon, notably, holding the Silk Scarf.
Ah.
Oh, I think you have to... Ugh. God damn it.
Now, Jumpluff is level 31.
Yes.
Okay. That's why I chose Espeon.
Yeah. Because Espeon's level 30?
Yes.
Okay.
Umbreon is 31. Jumpluff is 31. The Flaffy one, whatever it's called now, Ampharos is 31.
Yes.
And those are the only other... Those are the 4 that I want on my team, but obviously I won't get to put all 4 of them on.
Yeah.
Unless I remove one of these other ones that I'm wanting to keep as well.
Okay. Sure.
But right now, Espeon is the one who comes on because they're at level 30.
Gotcha. I hate doing so many cuts. I just realized this game is a little annoying. Other games, when you're in the box, allow you to manipulate the items of the Pokemon in the box. I don't think this game lets you do that. So I'm gonna get these items off of these Pokemon that are in the box, especially the ones that you specifically said you are not keeping on your team, and we will be right back. Okay, that is all dealt with. Sorry about that delay, but obviously for you it was only moments. For me it took a lot longer, but we now have all our Pokemon. Some of them have items already, but they're the ones that are on our team. The ones that are in the box now don't have items anymore.
Okay.
And so mainly the items that we just picked up from them are down here. They sure are. We got the experience share off of Remoraid. We got the spell tag that raises the power of ghost type moves off of Misdreavus. We got the miracle seed that raises the power of grass type moves off of Bayleaf. And we got the Twisted Spoon that raises the psychic type, or boosts psychic type moves off of Metatite.
Great. So let's put the Twisted Spoon on Espeon.
Perfect. So the cool thing about that is Espeon's already holding an item. We talked about this a moment ago.
Oh yes, the scarf.
The Silk Scarf, which raises the power of normal type moves. Now, a Pokemon that you have that uses normal type moves is twofold. You have both Dunsparce and Furret.
Okay.
That are both normal type Pokemon that would inherently then have normal type moves. I believe Mantine also has Takedown, as we saw, and we know that Mantine has a low attack stat.
Yes.
So you might want to do that to boost Mantine's Takedown, but it's only Mantine's Takedown.
Yeah, because we're not really using the Supersonic.
Well, yes, but Supersonic doesn't do damage.
Right.
Swablu doesn't have any damage dealing moves in as a normal type attack. Neither does Dunsparce right now. You don't know what the 4th attack will be, nor what Shadow Rush will be replaced with. But once you replace Shadow Rush, if you're not keeping Dunsparce, it's irrelevant.
Right.
No normal type damage dealing moves on Quillfish, and then you have Strength on Furret.
Okay.
And Quick Attack, which are both normal type moves that do damage.
Yeah, so I would put it on Furret.
Okay, that makes perfect sense. And again, you had it on Espeon for Return and Swift.
Right.
But now you have Twisted Spoon to boost Confusion, which is also Stab, which should mean that Confusion can start hopefully mowing people down.
Right.
Okay, so then we will go here, go to Items, give the Silk Scarf. And now the Miracle Seed, if, this is not to push you, if you are putting Jumpluff on the team in any capacity, you can give the Miracle Seed to Jumpluff to have its grass type attacks boosted.
Right.
So, okay, we have already saved, so let's go back and get right back into these fights.
Oh, okay, so none of the other items are usable for our team?
That is up to you. I don't think so. Hold on. Let's check the items. So there was, I said, there was the Miracle Seed, but nobody on your team currently has any grass type moves. Right. Spell Tag is ghost type moves. Nobody on your team has those right now.
Okay.
Experience Share would give one of your Pokemon experience from battles.
Yes.
To okay.
I want.
Okay. Who would you like to give that to? Swablu and Mantine are the only ones that currently don't have an item. Dunsparce's item is the Quick Claw because it was rather slow.
Yeah. And that's fine to just leave on Dunsparce for now.
Sure. Obviously, once we've purified it, I will try to remember to take the item off before depositing it so we don't run into this issue again.
It sucks because the Quillfish and the Furret are already at level 35.
Yep.
And I would give it to Mantine, except I'm not sure I'm keeping Mantine.
Okay.
As much as I want to, I need 3 more slots on my team.
Right.
for Umbreon, for the Jumpluff,
Yep.
and for the
Ampharos.
that.
Again, that was not me steering Amy. I just knew that she was going to call it Flaffy.
So, yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, that's why, and don't forget the experience share takes experience away from the Pokemon in battle, right? Because it then gets distributed to a third Pokemon as well. So if you don't need it, like if you were trying to use Remoraid, that's why we had it on Remoraid. Right? If you're not trying to use Remoraid and you're not, like, you could try to give it to Espeon, since Espeon is 30 and the lowest of everybody right now, in place of the Twisted Spoon, but that means that if you end up putting Espeon in at any point, it won't get the benefit of the Twisted Spoon. It's just that if it's sitting in the back of the party at level 30, that would be a way of it gaining experience along the way. That's your call.
I understand. I'm not going to do that, though.
Not a problem at all.
I agree with your assessment that none of these other items are items we want to use.
Okay.
However,
yes,
we do have the Macho Brace I don't want.
No.
We do have Carbos, Protein, Iron, and Zinc.
Yeah. So special defense, attack, and speed. That's what those do, and there's no other ones that we have right now. So, do you want to use those now, or do you want to wait until you feel like you have your full team at your disposal?
I think that I want to wait.
Okay. Not a problem at all.
Yeah, because we still aren't 100% on what our team's going to be here. Mm-hmm. So, and these fights will help me determine that.
I like that. I like that a lot. That's a great idea. Okay.
So.
All right. Well, obviously we've beaten Trainer 1. We've beaten Trainer 2. Let's go up these stairs. What do you think of this setup?
It's terrifying. Because these rails don't even go clear across. There's these big gaps in between these railings.
There sure are. Look,
that
right
you
over
could
here.
just fall into this gigantic ravine.
Well, plus they're perfectly at waist level, which means if you back up into it, you're just going to flip over the railing and fall to your death.
Absolutely. So, like, these would not be regulation at all.
For sure.
Like,
for sure.
You know, they're not up to code.
Well, and again, yeah. And again, you've seen the anime, right? If you have a Pokemon battle on this tiny sphere, and it's not a Pokemon that can fly, you're absolutely going to have a move that's going to knock one of these Pokemon off of here and kill them. Mm-hmm. Absolutely going to happen.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, battle time. What's going on? Both Turo and Drovik went down? That's weak. I'm not going down easily.
Okay, I don't care.
Ryder Kimmett would like to battle. And she sends out Sandshrew and Geodude.
Okay.
Level 37 and 36 respectively. You've got Dunsparce and Swablu. She does have a third Pokemon after these two.
Okie doke. Well, we're gonna Shadow Rush.
Which one? Higher level, lower level?
Don't matter. Because we're gonna Shadow Rush them both.
Okay, but who do you want with who?
Dunsparce with Sandshrew.
You got it. And then obviously... Oh, and Swablu just learned Fly.
Ooh!
Right now, not super helpful against these two, but a good thing to know.
Yes.
Okay, Shadow Rush on the Geodude. Hits for very little. And Swablu's hit with Recoil. Shadow Rush on the Sandshrew. Hits for a little bit more, but not a lot.
Okay.
And hit with Recoil. Sandshrew dug a hole. Geodude used Rock Throw. On Dunsparce. Silly. Okay.
Good.
Interesting.
That's what I like to see.
Wow.
Okay.
Now, if she's not stupid, Sandshrew just used Dig on Dunsparce, because it will not hit Swablu, obviously. It is up to you whether you want to try to predict that and do something about it, or whether you want to just keep attacking.
Yeah, why don't we try to Shadow Rush? Okay, so we don't want to attempt anything against Sandshrew right now because it won't hit, or we want to attempt to use Shadow Rush, both of them on Sandshrew, to attempt to keep it from coming up and hitting somebody.
No, so they both went before Sandshrew, right?
I don't know.
I don't remember. I feel like it went Swablu, Dunsparce, Sandshrew, Geodude, but I don't remember. But if that's the case, if I'm correct, then it means that if you try to attack Sandshrew right now, it will be miss, then Sandshrew hits, and then Geodude hits.
Alright, so let's just hit them both with Geodude. Or hit Geodude both with Shadow Rush.
I understand. So yes, Swablu entered Hyper Mode and didn't attack, and Dunsparce did use Shadow Rush, so I was correct on the order.
Okay.
So Dunsparce did hit Geodude, and is hit with Recoil. Dig does miss Swablu, because apparently this woman is silly. Doesn't remember her type chart. Although, then she immediately does by using Rock Throw on the Swablu.
Yes.
Swablu is in Hyper Mode.
Great. We will call the Swablu.
Okay, what are we doing with Dunsparce?
Shadow Rush the Sandshrew.
Okay, when you call Swablu, its heart gauge is now empty.
Yes.
Or shadow gauge, I guess. And Dunsparce entered Hyper Mode and did not attack. Sandshrew dug a hole. Geodude used Rock Throw. Depending on who it hits. Hits Dunsparce. Wow, okay.
Great.
Very kind. Dunsparce is in Hyper Mode.
Sick. Let's call. And Swablu is not in Hyper Mode.
Correct, and also gauge is empty.
I know, but I was hoping for the crit.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, whatever. We'll hit Geodude.
Yeah, you have to, if you want to actually hit Dunsparce! Okay, that only took a little bit off. Okay, Shadow Rush hits the Geodude, brings it to the yellow. It's a little below half. Hit with Recoil, down to 12. Sandshrew used Dig and hits Dunsparce down to 13.
Ooh.
Wow. Geodude used Magnitude 7, meaning that Dunsparce is dead.
Yeah.
Swablu does not get hit. And Sandshrew will likely be dead as well? No, I'm sorry. But Sandshrew does go to the yellow.
Okay.
And it does not hit Swablu.
Okay. Let's see here. What do we want to do? Okay. Let's put Espeon in and use Confusion.
Okay.
Because we want Espeon's level to grow.
Makes sense.
Or elevate.
Alright, so Confusion on which one? Sandshrew or Geodude?
Elevate that level 8.
Oh god.
Let's use it on Sandshrew.
And Swablu?
We will use Shadow Rush on Geodude.
You got it. Confusion, or Espeon goes first. Confusion hits, finishes off Sandshrew.
Nice.
Nicely done, Amy. Sandshrew faints. Espeon gained 367.
Nice.
And Numel comes in.
Okay.
So I may have misspoken before. Numel may be fire and ground, since all of these Pokemon are part ground.
Yeah, it seems that way.
Swablu hit with Recoil, Rock Throw, finishing off the Swablu.
That's fine.
Yes, correct. Its gauge was already empty. I know you don't care anymore, which is fine. So, Mantine, Quillfish, or Fern first?
Mantine.
Also a flying type, so will not be hit by any of these ground type types. And, as we learned, super effective against Numel, although arguably super effective against Geodude as well.
Yes.
Your call.
So I will actually use the Confusion against Numel and the Bubble Beam against Geodude.
I like it. Confusion hits first. And does over half to Numel.
Nice.
Bubble Beam also hits. And will finish off this turn. No question. Super effective. Against all these ground types, it's nice to have 2 water types.
Yeah.
Mantine gained 331. Espeon gained 331. Magnitude 7 will only hit Espeon. Down to 51 from 87.
Not bad.
And it doesn't affect Mantine, so Confusion and Bubble Beam on this thing.
Sure.
You got it. Confusion. Down goes Numel.
Bye, Numel. Wow.
$339 for Mantine, and $339 for Espeon, leveling it up to level 31.
Yes!
Look at those pluses.
Ooh.
90 HP and special attack.
Woo!
49 attack, 42 defense, 68 special defense, and 82 speed.
Love it.
It's a fast Pokemon, man. But obviously more special attack. Okay. You've defeated Ryder Kimmett. I went down easily. And you get $370 for winning.
Okay.
Just today, I'll back off easily. Okay.
Back to the box.
Yeah, well, back to the purification because of Swablu.
Yeah, but I don't know if I necessarily want to do that right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I guess.
All right, so we will be right back. Okay, here we are. It is time to purify Swablu. Which means that Swablu opened the door to its heart and regained Mirror Move.
Huh.
Swablu gained 1,383 experience and obtained a ribbon. Okay, we will be back once again. Okay, we are here at the box. Amy, Swablu is going to be deposited. Who is going to be taken out for Swablu?
Well, let's take a look.
You got it.
At these 3 in the upper right-hand corner here and see their stats, how much experience they've got towards leveling up again.
Okay.
Barely any experience.
Right. So Jumpluff, level 31, low on experience, 88 HP, 52 attack, 53 defense, 45 special attack, 59 special defense, and 80 speed. Notably, it is the naughty nature, which means that it has increases to its attack and a decrease to its special defense. Now, notably, its special defense is still higher than its special attack, despite the fact that all of its attacks are special. And it's got 45 special attack. So that's a little disappointing, but not insurmountable if that's something that you still choose to pursue. Don't forget you do have the Miracle Seed to give it, which will boost the power of its grass type moves.
Right.
Obviously, all of its grass type moves will be Stab, because it is a grass type.
Oh, it has an item right now. What is the item
it does not.
It currently has?
No, it just because that box is there, that's just to show you the symbol, but it would list an item underneath in that blank space. Yeah.
Okay.
So
question.
Yes, please.
Carbos, iron, all that stuff. Does any of that help special attack?
I don't remember offhand. I don't think that was one of them. And even if it does, don't forget it. It raises it to like +1.
Right. So it doesn't do a whole hell of a lot.
No.
Chlorophyll.
Raises speed in Sunshine, and this was not the Pokemon that gained Sunny Day. That was Bayleaf.
Yeah. Okay.
The main benefit for grass types with Sunny Day, or getting Sunshine up, obviously here, raising your speed is great. It allows Solar Beam to hit as if it were a regular attack instead of taking a turn to charge up. Okay. That's the big thing for grass types. Next Pokemon is...
Now, it had Mega Drain, or it had...
Mega.
Okay. So there's only 10 PP for that.
Correct. And then it has Sleep Powder, Cotton Spore is irrelevant, and it has Synthesis for health regeneration, but there's only 5 of those as well.
Yeah, okay. Fine. Alright.
Going to Ampharos next.
Yes.
96 HP, 53 attack, 56 defense, 84 special attack, 61 special defense, and 44 speed with a quirky nature, which is neutral. So there is nothing more powerful than anything else.
Okay.
It will level up normally. It is very close to leveling up, speaking of which.
And its speed is low. Do we have a thing for that?
One of those did increase speed.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
And then it has Thunderbolt and Thunder Shock as its only damaging moves, which is a bit redundant, but still.
What is Cotton Spore?
That's the same one that that Jumpluff had, in fact, in the same slot. It gives your opponent -2 speed.
Okay.
I think the flavor there is that it covers them in cotton spores, so it's like harder for them to move.
Yeah. Okay. Dumb.
Yes.
Because I was gonna say, okay, that makes me feel good about leaving Jumpluff in the box.
Okay.
And giving Ampharos the grass item.
Oh, I see.
But
No,
it's
doesn't deal damage.
Yeah.
What you could give Ampharos is the Quick Claw. Its speed is 44, and right now the Quick Claw is on Dunsparce, which you know you're not keeping, so.
Okay.
But that's up to you.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Thanks.
I think we'll probably do that regardless of whether we leave Jumpluff behind for Ampharos or whether they're both on the team.
You got it. But the question is, oh, right, and you wanted to check on Umbreon as well?
Yes.
While we're here, so let's do that. So Umbreon has 103 HP.
Nice.
48 attack, 48 attack and speed, 81 defense and special defense, and 46 special attack.
Okay.
It has.
What is synchronized? Go back.
It passes on status problems. So if something paralyzes Umbreon, Umbreon will turn around and paralyze the Pokemon that paralyzed it. Right
Ooh,
back.
I like that.
Same with all of it: poison, burn, etc.
Okay, let's look at the nature.
Oh yes, lax nature means that Umbreon's defense is less than it should be, or lesser than it would be, and its special defense is higher than it would be.
Huh.
So even though they're tied, what that means is that typically Umbreon is more specially defensive than defensive, and right now they are even because of the nature.
Okay. All right.
It has Bite, which is Stab, 60 power, 100 accuracy, and may cause flinching. Secret Power, an attack with effects that vary by location, but has 70 power, 100 accuracy. Toxic, which poisons, and again is the exponential poisoning damage every turn, as opposed to just a flat amount. And Confuse Ray, which confuses and has a chance to have that Pokemon hurt itself over the course of a few turns.
Okay. Okay. And do we have any items good for Umbreon? Or we didn't come across any?
So technically, if you wanted to take the Silk Scarf off of Furret, you could put it on Umbreon to increase Secret Powers damage. But otherwise I would say no. You do have the Spell Tag, which increases damage from Ghost type attacks, but Confuse Ray doesn't inherently do damage. So it wouldn't count for, even if it hurt itself in confusion, it doesn't count for that.
Okay. All right. All right. I definitely want Umbreon, but I'm still unsure about the other two.
Okay.
I shouldn't say that. I definitely want Ampharos. Ampharos. I just am not sure if I'm keeping Mantine or Jumpluff.
Okay.
But I will say, if these trainers keep having ground type Pokemon,
sure,
it would make sense for me to keep Mantine over Jumpluff.
Why is that?
Because it can't be hit by the magnitudes because it flies, and it can do Bubble Beam against any of the rock ones, which was Geodude. Sandshrew is rock as well as ground?
Sandshrew's just ground.
Okay, I thought it was both. And then, were there any other rock types? I feel like I'm forgetting one.
No, but I'm going to stop you for just a moment. Jumpluff is also part flying, so it would also not be hit by those things.
Oh, cool.
And grass and water are both super effective against ground and rock.
Oh.
So your arguments are relevant, but also pertain to Jumpluff.
Okay. Okay. All right. Can we look at Mantine and compare these two?
Sure. So let's quickly remember some things about Jumpluff before we go over to Mantine. So 45 special attack. The naughty nature we said does not affect special attack. So special attack of 45, and Mega Drain has 40 power and is stab.
And is 10 PP.
Yes. But you will have the Miracle Seed on Jumpluff.
Yeah.
So it will raise that higher than 40.
Okay.
So it's 40 plus power, 10 power points, and 45 special attack. God damn it. Sorry. And then if we look at Mantine, 74 special attack as opposed to 45. 20 power points on Bubble Beam instead of 10, and 65 power instead of 40, but you will not have an item boosting its power, but again, obviously also is still stab.
Yeah. And it also has a flying type attack, and it also has a normal type attack.
Correct, but its attack stat is kind of crappy.
Oh, yeah,
It's
that's
40.
true.
So it's even less than Jumpluff's special attack.
Ugh. But its other stats are better than Jumpluff in pretty much every way.
Yeah, except maybe the speed, right?
Yeah.
Because whatever. But if you're in the rain, similar to Jumpluff, right? Jumpluff's speed is increased in sun. Mantine's is increased in rain.
Cool.
So they're very interesting. I don't know that I ever noticed how damn similar, especially in this game, but maybe overall, Jumpluff and Mantine are. Leave it in the comments if you all noticed. I genuinely had no idea. Very interesting.
Okay. So do our vitamins help with attack at all?
Don't believe so. I'll have to double check. I don't think they did. Special defense, attack, protein.
Okay.
So we have one for attack and one for speed.
All right. I think that we leave Jumpluff in the box. We keep Mantine.
Okay.
We give it some protein.
Okay.
a good protein shake in the morning.
Sure.
And we just, grin and bear it.
Okay.
We give the Quick Claw to new Flaffy, and we
Ampharos.
we throw Umbreon in there because Umbreon is good on its own.
Okay. So who goes in right now though? Because you still have to wait for Dunsparce to finish its bar. So
Right.
Does Umbreon or Ampharos join the team first?
You know what? We'll use Jumpluff.
Oh.
Simply because it's a way for me to use Jumpluff, but we will ultimately put it back in the box.
I like it. Okay, sure.
But I'm getting to use it for a little while to say, hey, I really wanted to. Your honorable mention.
Okay. Not a problem at all. In fact, I think I'll save since we've done so much at this point. Also, if you note, 14 snagged, 12 purified, but it's actually 13 purified because you literally have just Dunsparce left.
Nice.
So, speaking of which, you know that we're coming across, or we have come across, kind of exclusively ground types, like there have been secondary types. Is Mantine okay for up top, or do you want to put Jumpluff there in that temporary basis?
You know what? Yeah, let's put Jumpluff there.
You got it. Okay, and obviously
so we can make sure we're using it while we have it.
You got it. And obviously we'll keep Dunsparce to get rid of that that last little bit of heart gauge.
Right.
You got it. All right, let's move our way up to challenge or battle number 4. Against this guy. Fuh. That trio you've already defeated, if I likened them to food, they would only be hors d'oeuvres. The real battling begins now.
I thought he was going to continue the metaphor.
Nope.
Okay.
Ryder Ryden would like to battle.
Ryder Ryden.
That's what it said.
They got super creative with these names.
Pineco and Balter.
Okay.
Now, notably, Pineco, not a ground type.
That's okay.
We talked about this many episodes ago, or a couple of episodes ago. Do you remember what type Pineco is?
Grass?
No, close.
What is close?
What crawls around in the grass?
Bugs?
Yes, it's a bug type. Yep.
That's so dumb. It's a fucking pine cone.
I know.
Okay.
Bugs live in trees. Pine cones are in trees.
That's really not relevant.
Guess what? Dunsparce knows Takedown now.
Ooh. Bet it doesn't do better than Shadow Rush, though.
Probably not. Takedown is stab, but still, probably not.
Okay. So we're gonna do Shadow Rush. I don't know who we're gonna use it on, though.
Well, what are you going to do with Jump?
Mega Drain. That's the only thing we got.
Right. So if you want to do Mega Drain on something it's super effective against, it would only be Balto. You can't do it against...
Pineco it is.
Okay. So then Mega Drain on Baltoy.
Yeah.
If you notice, I did give the Miracle Seed to Jump Off.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Alright, so Pineco only took a little from that. Dunsparce is hit with Recoil. Jumpluff does use Mega Drain.
The cheerleader.
Yep, pretty much. And it is super effective. It did a third. Baltoy then digs a hole.
Okey-doke.
Pineco used Tackle on Jumpluff, dealing it only 11.
Still so happy to be hit.
Okay, what are we doing with Dunsparce?
Shadow Rush
On
Pineco.
Okay. We're not going to be able to hit Baltoy this time. Because it is underground.
So we will Mega Drain the Pineco as well.
Okay. It probably won't do a lot, but I guess we'll see. Yep.
What we can do.
It's not very effective, so it did very little. Baltoy used Dig, and it hits, which means it's Dunsparce. Because obviously it would not have hit Jumpluff. Dunsparce used Shadow Rush. So if you notice, last turn it went Dunsparce, Jumpluff, Baltoy, Pineco. This time it went Jumpluff, Baltoy, Dunsparce, Pineco. Because the first turn, Dunsparce got the Quick Claw to activate, which let it go first,
Nice.
and this turn it didn't.
Okay.
So it gives you an idea.
So it only does that some of the time.
Oh yeah, it's a chance to activate. Yes.
Alright, Dunsparce, Shadow Rush on Pineco, and Mega Drain on the Baltoy.
Makes perfect sense to me. Okay, so no Quick Claw again this turn, which means Baltoy does get to go because it lived before Dunsparce. Baltoy digs a hole, but we didn't target it with Dunsparce, and Dunsparce actually enters Hyper Mode anyway.
Oh.
Pineco uses Tackle on Jumpluff. Back down to 77. You had regained health from the Mega Drains.
Cool. Alright, let's call and Mega Drain the...
It would have to be Pineco because you'll go before Baltoy definitively. So we call Dunsparce! Oof, so close, Amy. That little itty bit left. Mega Drain does. It's not very effective, but it did put it in the red. And you went from 77 up to 84 HP. Dig still hits Dunsparce down to 55. And Pineco uses Tackle. Also on Dunsparce down to 45. Okay. Same thing again. Oh, he has 2 more Pokemon, by the way.
Oh.
I didn't even notice.
Okay, is Baltoy underground?
No.
Oh.
No, so you'll be able to kill it with Jump.
Okay, so yeah, Shadow Rush on Pineco and Mega Drain.
You got it. I love how the shadows of Jumpluff's balls are square. You notice that?
Yeah.
Anyway, Baltoy faints.
That's amazing.
Graphics. Anyway, Jumpluff gained 217.
It's not just the balls. It's like its whole body is squares.
Yeah. Houndour gets sent out, and Shadow Rush finishes off Pineco.
Great.
Hit with recoil, of course. Pineco faints. And his last Pokemon, Jumpluff, gains 225. His last Pokemon is Graveler. 4 times weak to Mega Drain is Graveler, by the way. Just as
great.
noted. But Jumpluff will be weak to any fire attacks that the fire type Houndour has. Just as well.
Okay.
So
Shadow Rush on the Houndour and Mega Drain on the Graveler.
I like it. Quick Claw. Shadow Rush first. Hits the Houndour down to below half.
Wow.
Dunsparce is hit with recoil. Jumpluff Mega Drains the Graveler. You're only 1 point down, but it is super effective, and Graveler just hangs on. It has got a little bit of HP left. Houndour actually uses Bite on Jumpluff, down to 60 from 88. Not bad, not bad. Rock Throw from Graveler, which is super effective and kills Jumpluff.
Wow. Okay.
Down goes Jumpluff. Who is next?
Who is next? We have Graveler and what's the other one?
Houndour, the fire type.
Okay, let's send in Quillfish.
Yeah, I was going to say just fire and dark as a reminder, but still, that shouldn't change Quillfish. That's fine. Okay. In comes Quillfish. Oh, and in fact, you're so smart, Amy.
Why?
Because, what's Quillfish's water type attack?
Surf.
And who does that hit? It hits both. Yeah.
Yes! I forgot that.
Yeah, I almost did too. Yeah. Alright, so Dunsparce will do what to whom?
We will Shadow Rush the Houndour, and we will surf them both.
Got it. Surf hits first, so the Quick Claw did not proc. If it did, it probably would have killed Houndour first. But instead, Graveler gets hit and faints. These are his last 2 Pokemon, so you're good.
Hi, Graveler. I love you.
And Houndour faints as well.
That was dramatic.
Right? Quillfish gained 531 and 451. Okay. You defeated Ryder Raiden. Please, no! And you gained $370 for winning. I used the wrong accent for him, but anyway. The real battles begin after me. Okay. To the healing machine?
Healing machine.
Okay. Let's heal up.
Can't we use Mantine or somebody to fly over there?
I don't know that you'd want to trust that right now. If Mantine can't hold both of our weights and plummets, we all die. Just saying.
Come on, it'd be a fun ride.
Sure, yeah, that's what it is. Uh-huh. You go right ahead. I'll just walk things.
I will.
Good. I'm so glad. All right. We've restored your Pokemon. We hope to see you again. Okay. Oh, this is where they're still saying they hope to see you again at the hospital. That's always fun.
Yeah.
After that, they say, like, please come back at any time or whatever. Like,
okay.
Which makes a lot more sense, but... All right.
Please come back again, because I have poisoned your Pokemon.
All right.
So that you will inevitably be back again.
Are we good with Jumpluff on top still?
Yeah.
Okay. No problem. Let's see who trainer number 5 is. Wow. You've come a long, long way from home. You should be proud of yourselves. But prepare for a thrashing. I never miss targets once I get them in my sights.
Doubt it. Okay.
Jesus. Hunter Telia would like to battle. with Trapinch and Barboach. Ooh, good for you. Alright, Dunsparce is in. And Jumpluff is in.
Okay.
Notably, Dunsparce, now empty Shadow Beach.
Yes!
It had like the tiniest sliver as it came out, but as you know, when you send a Pokemon out, it goes away a little bit. So, there you go.
Okay, Shadow Rush the Trapinch. And we're going to Mega Drain the Barboach.
Do you remember why you're Mega Draining the Barboach? What is Barboach's type?
Water.
And?
Ground.
It is, yeah, you can speak up more. You're absolutely right. It is 4 times weak to grass.
Yeah.
So, Jumpluff using Mega Drain means Barboach goes down in weak.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it really is.
This is great.
It really, really is. Alright, Barboach faints.
It was like looking around like, seriously? I've been here for 5 seconds.
Yep, sure have.
And then it died.
354 experience for Jumpluff. And Lilip comes out next.
Ugh, I hate this fucking thing.
I know you do. And Dunsparce entered Hyper Mode. That's good. Sandstorm from Trapinch.
Wow.
The Sandstorm rages. Jumpluff is buffeted by the Sandstorm. And Dunsparce is buffeted by the Sandstorm. But we're in that cool situation where Dunsparce is in Hyper Mode, but you don't need to call it.
Great.
So
we will Shadow Rush the shit out of...
So Trapinch will be weak to Mega Drain. Lilip will not, because Lilip is rock and grass, I believe. So grass will not be super.
It just has dicks all over its face.
God damn it,
so let's Shadow Rush the Lilip.
You got it.
And we will we will not Jumpluff. We will use Jumpluff to use the Mega Drain on Trapinch.
Notably, she does have one more Pokemon left after these two, and Trapinch level 38, Lilip level 36.
Ah.
So Mega Drain, super effective, does not quite do half the Trapinch. Very close there.
Okay.
Shadow Rush from Dunsparce hits, crits, and brings Lilip to about half.
Okay.
Hit with Recoil. Ingrain from Lilip, it plants its roots, and Trapinch digs a hole.
Because I was gonna say we'll do the same thing again, but I guess we'll just do the same thing again, but on Lilip.
Yeah, and that's fine because Lilip, when it ingrains, absorbs nutrients with its roots, so it gained back a little bit of health.
Ah.
So if this Shadow Rush doesn't kill, Jumpluff may be able to do that last little bit that it needs to. Speaking of which, Quick Claw procs, Shadow Rush crits, and leaves it alive with a little bit of health. Not a surprise there. Hit with Recoil, and Jumpluff, will it finish this thing off? It does.
And it gains a little bit back.
Correct, so it's up to 86 of 88. Lilip faints.
Good. Where did that hideous monstrosity?
Jumpluff gained 466. And she sends out her final Pokemon, another level 38 Trapinch. This Trapinch uses Dig on Dunsparce, down to 44. Sandstorm rages and hits Dunsparce and Jumpluff. Okay, which means Dunsparce is in Hyper Mode, we know.
Great.
Shadow Rush on the one with more health or less health?
I think we should do the one with more health.
I like it, and then we'll Mega Drain the other one.
Yeah.
You got it.
Great.
So as we saw, not quite half, just like with the last one. Shadow Rush from Dunsparce finishes it off.
Wow.
Okay.
I have to say, this is such a different format from other Pokemon games.
For sure.
I am significantly less annoyed by how ineffective things tend to be in battle. And maybe that's just because Shadow Rush is really fucking good. But Like, so when we first started playing this game and I had to figure out that Shadow Rush was literally all I could do,
Sure.
I was frustrated.
Sure.
But it didn't last long because it did a great job.
Yeah.
And we were able to progress through the game fairly quickly anyway.
Sure.
But I have to say, these fights are not making me frustrated at all.
Good.
And, what do you call it?
Mainline Pokemon games or main
Mainline.
series? Sure.
Pokemon games. There's just a point that I reach sometimes where I want to reach through the screen and strangle it myself.
Well, I have... I will point out, if you recall, you were not a big fan. There were some tough fights in the middle there.
Yeah.
Where you were facing like Myra B and a couple of the folks after him.
Yeah.
You got a little frustrated with those. I wouldn't say
You're
it was as bad as mainline games have been at times, but there was a little bit of frustration there.
Okay.
But otherwise, I'm not trying to negate what you're saying.
Sure.
I think it's fair, but...
Yeah.
Okay. 297 experience for Jumpluff here. And this Trapinch digs a hole. Sandstorm rages. Hits Jumpluff. Hits Dunsparce. Down to 24 on Dunsparce. Just as a heads up, you're going to have to not... like waste a turn basically.
Glare.
You can glare. I mean, it's probably not going to work, even if the thing doesn't proc. And you can like synthesis if you want to gain back the 5 points of health that you're down.
Great.
Because you know Jumpluff goes first. So okay, Quick Claw didn't proc, but Dunsparce is still faster. And because it's in hyper mode, it tried to use its item without permission, but it didn't work because it's a quick claw. But it dies for its insolence. Dunsparce faints. Its final act of defiance before we put it in the box forever. Who comes out next?
Oh my god, that was good.
Thank you.
Let's use Espeon, I suppose.
You got
it's
it.
Still only level 31.
Yeah, no problem.
I need to get that up.
All right, Espeon comes
We
out.
need to get it up.
Wow. The sandstorm subsided. And so...
Okay.
Confusion?
Yes.
And... oh, I hit synthesis. Well, I hope this kills.
It
God
probably
damn
will.
It did. Oh, it's a crit, too. Thank
Good.
God. Thanks, Espeon, for fixing my mistake. Jumpluff gained 297. Espeon gained 297. And you defeated Ryder or Hunter, whatever the hell her name was. Telia. There it is. My target got away.
I'm sorry, what?
We were her target because she said, I never miss when I get a target in my sights.
We didn't get away, we're standing right here.
Yeah, but she can't do anything about us anymore, so. We got $608 for winning. And she says, the next time we meet, I really won't let you escape. Well, we're escaping right now. Because we have a Pokemon to purify, and it's the last one. Now, notably,
Yay!
they did mention that the people in this area who came to take over had some weird Pokemon. So it's possible that there is more opportunities to catch more Shadow Pokemon.
Oh, yeah.
So just be aware of that. It's not... if you are fortunate enough to catch them, this will not be the last Shadow Pokemon. But if you don't, it could be. It's really entirely up to what the game has in store for you and how you want to kind of navigate that. So. But how does it feel? Now purifying the last of the 14 Shadow Pokemon that you've caught so far in this game.
It feels great.
Yeah?
I should say...
I don't know if you can purify a fainted Pokemon, but we're going to find out.
I should say it would feel more great, honestly, if they had other original trainers that I could return them to.
Ah, okay. Okay.
I think if I had to do that work, that would be a moment in this game that would certainly frustrate me.
Okay. It's interesting, too, because I think other people would say, and I don't necessarily feel this way, but I think other people would say that if you did all that work to drain its shadow gauge, right, and open its heart back up, that to give it away after that would be sad, because you would have spent so much time with the Pokemon, bonded with it like that, etc. And like,
well, no, I mean, for me, it's like the whole point of doing that in the first place is to restore it to what it always should have been.
sure,
And if you're going to restore it to what it always should have been, it only makes sense to give it back to its rightful trainer.
okay,
But since we don't know who its rightful trainer is,
right,
and or it was a wild Pokemon when it was caught,
correct,
that's an element of this game that doesn't exist,
Yeah.
and I don't have to care about it anymore.
sure,
It's just an element of this game that I thought did exist, and so it's a little disappointing that it doesn't.
interesting.
But we're moving on.
And if folks have not done so already, I believe we talked about this in a prior episode. If folks have not done so already, leave us your thoughts on that in the comments. Do you agree with Amy? Do you wish that there was that element of like, hey, you can actually give these Pokemon back to their owners, and the owners would be so grateful that the Pokemon is not only returned from being stolen, but also is not corrupted. It doesn't have its
Right.
heart taken over or whatever anymore.
And possibly leveled up because we've used it.
Sure, yeah.
And
Possibly evolved, right? I mean, some of these Pokemon have already evolved.
Right.
So that some people might not like that
Right.
actually, but
Yeah.
still.
but also, they might be grateful enough to give us things.
Yes.
TMs and stuff like that.
Sure.
Which obviously in this game don't appear to be a thing. But if this was a mainline game,
Yeah.
I would think that that's how that would go.
Interesting. Okay.
You
Sure.
know, because there's always like, oh, here's this dumb errand you have to run. Go do it.
Yeah.
It's going to be frustrating.
Yeah.
You get through it, then you come back and they give you something for free.
Yeah.
Because you ran the errand for them. So, you know, I guess my head is still in the space of the mainline games.
Sure. Well, that's
Enough to think that would have been part of this game, and it's not.
no, and that's fine. I mean, I think that's typical video games as well as the mainline Pokemon games. Of
Okay.
just like do the task. Now that you've completed it and you've saved this Pokemon, like return it and get a reward. I completely understand that. That makes perfect sense to me. Like I said, if you disagree or agree, let us know in the comments down below. For now, Dunsparce opened the door to its heart and regained the move Spite. Do you remember what that move does?
No.
You're gonna be disappointed. It's a ghost type attack, I believe, or ghost type move, I believe. And all it does is the last move that was used by your opponent, it loses some power points from that move.
Gotcha.
Dunsparce,
Irrelevant. I'm not using this Pokemon.
exactly. Dunsparce regained 3,594 experience
That's pretty good.
and was elevated to level 34, which means 116 HP, 55 attack, 60 defense, 59 special attack, 45 special defense, and 40 speed.
Wow, those stats are pretty good.
And it obtained a ribbon, no nickname, which means that's it. All of the Pokemon that you have caught so far in this game or snagged have now been purified. Congratulations.
Thanks.
So we will now, I guess, to end the episode, because spoilers, we're going to end the episode. We will return to Mount Bow. We will deposit the Dunsparce and possibly the Jumpluff. And we will get your last one or two new team members. And get ready next time to continue our fights in Mount Battle, hopefully all the way up to, as you've commented, the boss of this area. Let's go to Pokemon Storage. And Dunsparce. Oh, damn it, man.
What?
Hold on. I guess my question to you is, are we depositing Jumpluff?
Yes.
Okay. So
Yes,
what I
it
will-
was great to use it, and we were very lucky in the opponents that we had against Jumpluff.
Sure.
And I feel satisfied.
Good. I like that. It took me a second, but I did actually remember to take the items off of those Pokemon.
Great.
So Jumpluff goes right back over here. And Dunsparce goes over here because we are taking Ampharos and Umbreon. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So Ampharos enters the team. And Umbreon enters the team. So Amy. Whoops. Well, whatever. We'll save in a minute. Amy, this is your team going forward and going towards the boss.
Yes.
Now, what did we determine? 44 speed and 48 speed. So we're giving the Ampharos the Quick Claw. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Whoops. Okay. So, hey, guess what, everybody? That is going to be the end of this particular episode. Next time, we can worry about our
Vitamins.
Thank you. I was going to say medicines, but thank you. Vitamins is a correct term. We can worry about our vitamins and what order we're going to be putting this team in going forward into the remainder of these battles. But we will do all of that next week. Now, to make sure that you do not miss out on exactly when that video comes out, please make sure that you are subscribed and you have that bell rung so that you will get notifications whenever any of our videos come out, including, as I said, the continuation of this series next week and into the coming weeks. Don't forget that we have other series on this channel, including another Pokemon series every Tuesday. And we have other channels. Links down in the description box below for Geek for All.
And Gluten Free for All.
But for now, from us here at the Geek for All family of channels, I have been Joe.
And I'm Amy.
And as we always say, in whichever video of ours you watch next, we will see you all next time. Thanks, everybody.